लास्ट क्लास में हमने एक्सरसाइज 4.1 का क्वेश्चन नंबर 2 का 1 कर लिया था। आज क्वेश्चन नंबर 2 करेंगे। क्वेश्चन बोल रहा है नंबर 2 का, द प्रोडक्ट ऑफ टू कंसेक्यूटिव पॉजिटिव इंटीजर। बोल रहा है दो कंसेक्यूटिव पॉजिटिव इंटीजर है। कंसेक्यूटिव का मतलब होता है पास पास का, ठीक है। The product of two consecutive positive integer is 306. It means that, let us suppose we don't know what is the number. So let us suppose that the first number is x. So right, let the question number 2 part 2, let the first number be x, and the second number definitely it will be x plus 1, ठीक है। It will be x plus 1, or you can take x minus 1, both are same, okay. So I have taken first number as x, second number will be x minus 1. Is it clear? Or you can take this one, you can take x plus 1, or you can take x, anyone, huh? Like suppose I have taken the first number as x, so second number I am taking x plus 1. You can take x, another number you can take x minus 1. First number you can take as x plus 1, next number you can take as x plus 2. Your choice how you want to take. But if you are taking x plus 1, it will become little lengthy, okay? Clear? So here question is said that the product of two consecutive positive integer, their product is 306. So let us suppose in the question it is given product. So let us suppose according to question, their product, that means if you multiply both x into x plus 1 equals to 306. Is it clear? Now if we remove this bracket, we will be having x square plus x equals to 306. Now this 306 will bring it to the left hand side. So x square plus x minus 306. Now can you find the middle term of this? Can you find? So just find it by your own. I am waiting for you. Just find it by your own and let's check it what we will get. Okay? So find it. So after solving the answer, you will be getting what? X minus what? X minus 18 into x plus 17. You are getting this two value, right? Equals to 0. X plus 18, that's what I am asking you. I am not telling you the answer. X plus 18 and x minus 18, right? You got this answer. So definitely either this equals to 0 or this equals to 0. So after finding, we can say that x plus 18 equals to 0 or x minus 17 equals to 0. Now this will be x is equal to minus 18 and this will be x is equal to 17, correct? So your final answer will be x is equal to minus 18 and x is equal to 17. Now in the question, if you go through properly, you'll see that they ask you find the product of two consecutive positive integer. It has to be a positive integer. This is a negative integer. So we will eliminate this, we'll remove this, we will ignore this. So we'll say that ignoring, right, ignoring x is equal to ignoring x is equal to minus 18 because it is a negative integer. You have to mention this way why you are removing this. So because it is a negative integer. Clear? Therefore, the first number, therefore, the first number equals to 17. Therefore, the first number equals to 17. And second number, and second number, and second number equals to x plus 1. That means 17 plus 1 equals to 18. Is it clear? Okay, now let's move to question number 3. Ready everyone? Okay, so question number 3 is Rohan's mother is 26 years older than him. Rohan's mother is 26 years older than him. Older means big. That means her mother is 26 years bigger. So let us suppose that let the let the let the present age of present age of present age of Rohan, let the present age of Rohan be x years. Okay, let the present age of Rohan be x years, and the present age of Rohan's mother be, her mother was 26 years older, so we'll say that it will be x plus 26 years. Any problem? Now you can take in different way also. Let us suppose that, I'm telling you, you can take it in other way also. Let us suppose that her mother age is x. You can take her mother age also first. So you can say that let the Rohan's mother age be x. You can assume this way. So if her mother age is x, definitely son will be 26 years younger than mother. So then Rohan's age will be x minus 26. Is it clear? So in both the cases it will be correct. Now here it is said that the product of their ages in years 3 years from now will be 360 degree. So 3 years from now, definitely after 3 years their age will be changed or not. Like suppose now my age is 10. So 3 years later it will be 13. Is it or not? Yes or no? If my age is 13, my present age is 13, so 3 years later my age will be 13, and definitely my age, if my age is changing, definitely my mother age also it will change. Correct? So we'll say that according to question, in the question it was said that the product of their ages in years 3 years from now, that means according to question Rohan's age was x, so 3 years later it will be x plus 3, and her mother age, present age was x plus 26, so we'll add 3. Any problem? So their product will be 360. Okay? Okay? Now we can write this one as x plus 3, and this can be written as x plus 29 equal to 360. Now we'll remove the bracket. We'll multiply x by both. So we'll be having x square plus 29x plus this 3 will be multiplied by both. So 3x plus 29 into 3. 29 into 3 will be 87 equals to 360. Now these two are like terms, so we can add this. So can we write this one as x square plus 32x plus 87, and this 360 I am bringing over here left hand side, so it will become minus. Okay? Okay, now this will become x square plus 32x, and here bigger number is minus, so it will be minus. Now subtract 360 minus 87, what you will get? What you will get? 270 minus 273 equals to 0. Now you know how to find the value of x. You know how to find the value of x. You can try it by middle term factorization. Try it. Try it. What you will get? Just check it. So after solving this question, you will be getting x is equal to minus 39 and x is equal to 7. Now you know that age cannot be negative. Age cannot be negative. Like if someone asks me what is my age, will I say that my age is minus 23? Nobody says, right? If it is a girl, then it is possible. If a person is girl, then it is possible. Because I remember when my mother was 37, whenever she go for doctor, she say 37, my age is 37. For next 6-7 years, whenever she go to doctor, she always say my age is 37. And after that directly she jumped to 44. That means girls, they used to reduce their ages. Okay, I remember one of my friend, she was born on the same day when I was born, same day, exactly same day, same year. Then one day I met her, and then I asked her, hey, what is your age now? Why you are not getting married? So she said that, hey, I'm not so old. I said, how old you are? She said, I'm 28. I said, my God, your younger brother is 31 and you are 28. Just imagine, girls, they can reduce their age. Just joking, okay? Girls, they used to do this, but actually it don't happen this way, okay? Okay. Okay, so we got two ages. So we will say that ignoring x is equal to minus 39, 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 because age cannot be negative, because age cannot be negative. Age cannot be negative. Therefore, the present age of Rohan, therefore, the present age of Rohan equals to 7 years. So you have written, therefore the present age of Rohan equals to 7 years, and the present age of Rohan's mother, and the present age of Rohan's mother, and the present age of Rohan's mother equals to x plus 26 years, equals to 7 plus 26 years, equals to whatever you will get. Okay, so next question, we'll move to next question, question number 4. So question number 4, a train travels a distance of 480 किलोमीटर. इस तरीका का क्वेश्चन इंपॉर्टेंट है, मार्क करके रखो. ये इंपॉर्टेंट है, मार्क कर लो. इस तरीका का क्वेश्चन जहां पे भी ट्रेन वाला क्वेश्चन मिलेगा, एरोप्लेन का क्वेश्चन मिलेगा ना, वो इंपॉर्टेंट है. ठीक है, क्वाड्रेटिक इक्वेशन में बोर्ड एग्जाम में बहुत बार आया है ये क्वेश्चन. So a train travels a distance of 480 km at a uniform speed. That means a train is moving with a constant speed. Generally, no object travel with a uniform speed. Like suppose I'm riding a car or a bike. Is it possible to travel 25 km or 100 km with the same speed? Not possible, right? Because we have to apply brake. Some places there will be traffic, some places it will be empty. So whenever it will be empty, definitely will increase speed up to certain extent. And whenever there will be a traffic, we have to apply brake. But if we give question this way, that sometime speed was there, next time it was that will be a difficult question. So what they told, let us suppose that it is a constant speed. They are moving with a constant speed. So a train travels a distance of 480 kilometer. It moves a distance of 480 kilometer with a uniform speed. If the speed has been increased, now let us suppose that I am moving with a speed of 60 kilometer per hour. Okay, I am moving with a speed of 60 kilometer per hour and I am going to Shillong. An example, okay, I am moving with a speed of 60 kilometer per hour. Let us suppose this is the uniform speed, okay. So I am moving with a constant speed of 600 kilometer till Shillong. So I am moving with a speed of 60 kilometer per hour. Now suppose another person, let it be a person A travel with a speed of 80 kilometer per hour. Okay, and both of us we have started from this point, that means this place. Now the question is, who will reach Shillong fast? Who will reach Shillong first? Definitely the person who is traveling with a speed of 80 kilometer per hour, his speed is more. So if the speed is more, he will cover distance quickly, right? So remember that whenever many students they get confusion in this type of question. Why they are getting confusion, I'll tell you, okay? Whenever a person or a vehicle travel with more speed, remember that it will take less time. Suppose that person, if he travel from this point to Shillong with a speed of 80 kilometer per hour, let us suppose that he reached Shillong in 2 hours. And I am traveling with a speed of 60 kilometer per hour, I'll be taking 3 hours. Just an example, 3 hours. So definitely my speed was less, so I took more time. Okay? Okay? So in the question, it was said that a train travel a distance of 480 kilometer at a uniform speed. If the speed if the speed had been 8 kilometer per hour less, if the speed is reduced, what happen? If the speed will reduce, what will happen? Definitely it will take more time. So that's what it is said. If the speed had been 8 kilometer per hour less, then it would have taken 3 hours more to cover the same distance. It will take 3 hours. Okay, 3 hours extra to cover the same distance. We need to find the speed of the train. That means we have to find the speed of the train. Let us suppose that let the original speed let the original speed let the original speed of a train be x kilometer per hour. This is the original speed. We are assuming the train was moving at the speed of x kilometer per hour. And the new speed, we will assume new speed of a train B. Now in the question, speed was increase or reduce? Reduce. So can we say that it will be x minus 8 kilometer per hour? Is it clear to everyone? Now try to understand this. Many students they get confusion in this only, this type of question. Now just think nicely, okay? This is the original speed, this is the new speed. In which case train will take more time? First case or second case? Second case, definitely second case, it will take more time. Always remember that in the question it is given 3 hours, right? if the speed is reduced by 8 kilometer per hour, then it takes 3 hours extra. 3 hours extra. That means this will take more time. So can I say that the train which take more time minus the train which take less time equals to 3 hours? The train which take more time, this train take more time, right? 3 hours. And this train take less time. So can I say that more time minus less time equals to given time in the question? Yes or no? Now you know that speed is equal to distance by time. Speed is equal to distance by time. Now can I say that time is equal to distance by speed? Yes or no? Yes or no? Is it clear to everyone? Now just see who will take more time, first case or second case? Second case. So can I say that according to question, time taken by new speed will be distance by speed, distance by speed. So distance was 480 by speed means x minus 8. Any problem? So this is the time taken by new speed minus now another one. First case, what will be the time taken? Same, time is equal to distance by speed. So distance is 480 and speed is x equals to 3 hours or not? Understood or not? The one which take more time minus the one which take less time, if we subtract, then we will get the time given in the question. So many students, they don't understand this. They don't understand this. They simply frame the equation and they try to solve, and finally they will see that they are not getting the answer. If you take it wrong, definitely you will get the wrong answer. Now let us suppose that if the speed was increased by 8, if the speed was increased by 8, so let us suppose speed was x and new speed is x plus 8. Okay, now which will take more time? First case. So in that case it will be 480 by x minus 480 by x plus 8 equals to the given time, whatever the given time it will be. Understood or not? Is it clear to everyone? Yes, the one which will take more time you have to write first while solving the question in quadratic equation related to speed, distance, time. Okay? Is it clear to everyone? Okay. Now this equation can be framed in 3 different ways. This is the first equation that I explain you. Now second one, can I say that which one will take more time? Second case. So second case, here. We are talking about the original one, okay, original question. So in this case, it will take the more time. So can I say that time is equal to distance by speed? Correct. This will take how much time? This will take how much time? 3 hours more. So what I will do, this is my original time. This is my original time or not? So I will add 3 here, because this was the original time, so this train is taking 3 hours extra. So if we add it here 3, then we will get the same equation. Actually this equation and this equation are same. If you observe properly, this minus is been transferred to the other side, it become plus. So same thing, 480 by x plus 3. Understood? Or what you can do, you can transfer this 3 here. So you may write also 480 by x minus 8 minus 3 equals to 480 by x. Any problem? So we are getting one equation, two equation, and this is the third equation. So this way we can find the equation. It's up to you which type of equation you want to frame. Is it clear to everyone? Always remember that, always use one technique, okay? While practicing you can use another technique, but always remember one technique that will be easy for you. So always remember that the one which take more time minus the one which take less time equals to the given time. Is it clear? Now I taught you that what is the LCM? LCM means what? I taught you in chapter 1, right? What is LCM? Highest power of the common factor. Highest power of the common factor multiplied by the non-common factor. Just see, this is x minus 8 and this is x. Are they same? No. So they are different number. So they don't have anything common. It means that they will be multiplied. Our LCM is highest power of the common factor. So there is no common factor. Multiplied by the non-common factor. So we'll multiply this. So x minus 8 into x. Clear? Clear? Now you can see x minus 8 is here. X minus 8 is here. What is missing? X. So x will be multiplied to the numerator. So we will be having 480x minus. Now you can see here x is there. So x is there. X minus 8 is missing. So we will multiply by x minus 8 here. So x minus 8 equals to 3. Any problem? Now we will take this one as 480x minus, if we multiply this we will be having minus 480x, minus is plus. Now 480 into 8, you just multiply and just check it what you are getting. (3840), and in the denominator we will be having x square minus 8x, correct, equals to 3. Understood everyone? Now this minus 480x and this is plus 480x can be cancelled. Okay? Now this 3 will be this number will be multiplied to 3. So can I say that this will be 3x square minus 24x equals to 3840? Any problem? No problem, right? Okay, now what you can do, you can make your equation simple. You can see that this is divisible by 3, this is divisible by 3. Is this divisible by 3? Yes or no? Yes, so we will divide both sides by 3. So if we divide, we will be having x square. Always remember that if you can make your equation simple, it's better to make it simple. Otherwise, it will be, if you will be taking more time in your exam, okay? So I am dividing both sides by 3. So this will be 8x equals to, it will be 1, 2, so 24. 3, how much is 24? 8, so we will be having 1280. Clear? Now we will take x square minus 8x minus 1280 equals to 0. Any confusion? Now we will solve it by middle term factorization. So we will be taking 1280 as prime factor. So 2s are 640, 2s are 320, 2s are 160, 2s are 80, 2s are 40. Okay. Now just see, my brain is working so fast. My brain is working so fast, I will not take prime factorization further, because I can easily see that 2 2s are 4 2s are 8 2s are 16 2s are 40 minus 32 8. I am getting 8. Understood? So these things can be done only by proper practice. Regular practice is needed. So without solving further, I can say that this will be x square minus, I'll take bigger number as minus. So minus 40x plus 32x minus 1280 equals to 0. Any problem? Okay, now this will be, I'll take x as common. Just see, after taking this middle term, always check that you are getting this or not. After solving, just see you are getting this or not. Minus 40 plus 32, you are getting minus 8x. Yes or no? Second thing, this number and this number should be multiplied to get first and the last number, product of first and the last number. So I have taken this first and the last number, third number together, and I have done prime factorization. I have taken all the numbers of 1280, that means whatever was in the question. Okay, so after using this number only, I got this middle term. Okay, so you just need to check the sign. This is minus, this is plus. Minus plus is minus, and first one and last number, if you multiply, you will be getting minus. It means that your middle term is correct. Understood? So I'll take x as common, so we'll be having x minus 40. There is a plus. Now you know that this middle term is correct. Middle term is correct. After solving this, you are getting this minus 8x, and after multiplying this, you are getting first and the last term. Now the question is 32 and 1280, what is the common? You have to take the common. But I remember I taught you in the last class that if you have taken middle term properly, then without thinking, we can easily take the middle term. We can easily take the common. How? You can see that here in the bracket it is minus. So here it should be minus, sorry, here in the bracket it is x. So here also you should have only x as a common. So I'll take 32 as common. Understood or not? So we'll be having x plus minus is minus, and without thinking I'll write 40. Is it clear to everyone? Now this will be, these are simple technique, okay? By using simple technique you can make your questions, you can save your time. Now we are getting this two. That means either x minus 40 equals to 0 or x plus 32 equals to 0. So x is equal to 40 or x is equal to minus 32. Done? Now you are getting two values. Definitely it is a quadratic equation, so you will be having two zeros. Now we will ignore this. We will ignore x is equal to minus 32. Why? Because speed cannot be negative. You have studied in class 9 physics, motion chapter. Speed cannot be negative. Velocity can be negative, okay? So speed here, speed cannot be negative. So we'll say that ignoring x is equal to minus 32, ignoring x is equal to minus 32, because speed cannot be negative. Speed cannot be negative. Therefore, original speed of a train, original speed of a train equals to 40 kilometer per hour. 40 kilometer per hour. That's all for today's class.